All right, we got to take a look at the attack. This is Sunday evening. Got to take a look at this attack. Um, so right at the open, um, about 20,000 contracts were dumped on the gold market in the first 15 20 minutes of trading. Now there's no way that is a natural. Um, yeah, I've had people try to claim that this is just Alago's trading, but nobody's going to program a computer to sell that kind of volume right at the open after the weekend in a very thin market. You would just get um, worse and worse fills. If you're trying to get out of a position and you're just dumping any and everything you have, well, your first couple contracts going to sell at 760, and then the more you sell, the more price is going to drop as there's no bids that in the market that early or in the pre-market, in the overnight market, and so you're going to end up selling a lot of your position down here at 1700 or lower. So that's just never going to happen naturally. Um, this is I've said this um, dozens and dozens of times that other than the currencies, the metals are the most heavily manipulated markets on the planet. The administration has a big problem. We've got bad inflation, and the problem is that companies are raising prices, and once they raise prices, they don't ever lower them. So the inflation is now going to be sticky. And um, if central banks keep printing more and more currency units, then there's going to be more you know, more fundamental drivers for prices to keep going or to stay high and to keep going higher. So the defense that worked, I'll say it did work in 2013, was to attack the metals, suppress the metals, and then the rest of the commodity market kind of stays in check. You're just not generally going to get runaway commodity inflation if gold and silver aren't at least participating, if not leading. So if you can keep the metals artificially suppressed, then there's a pretty good chance you can keep the rest of the commodity markets at least somewhat in check. But that hasn't worked this time. Um, the, we the powers that be have been attacking metals since August of last year. They've kept metals locked in this downtrend. Got away from them a little bit right here, but they got control of it again on the nonsense um, news that the Fed might raise rates 2 years from now. Um, and then, we got the big attack on the employment report on Friday. And then again, just as soon as the market opened, the attack begins again. So I'm going to say we're in the bloodbath phase. Again, those tend to last 5 to 7 days. So this would be day two. There is a possibility that the bulls just come in and defend and uh, and prevent the cartel from really getting a sustained move down. So, if they're dumping 20,000 contracts to try and create this move, and if the selling panic doesn't materialize, and all this is their attack, they're adding tons and tons of shorts, but it doesn't trigger the selling panic, and instead you get buyers come in and buy, then the cartel is at extreme risk of getting caught in a short squeeze. I wouldn't give that big odds of happening, but the risk is there for them when they do something like this. They need to create the selling panic, and if they do, then they can cover those shorts as everybody else is panic selling. But sometimes it doesn't work. Let me widen the chart so I can show you. Okay, so we've got a couple of examples here where it just didn't work for the cartel. Right here, we saw multiple attacks in these big contract dumps in the pre-market, trying to push gold down and break this low, and it just didn't work. The bulls defended on every one of the attacks, and the market popped back up. So the cartel's starting to lose money on these attacks. They're not able to trigger the selling panic. And then eventually they have to give up and cover, and you get a short squeeze and a pretty nice move. Same thing happened right here. We had three major attacks trying to break this support level and create the bloodbath phase so they could sell into that panic sell-off, and it just didn't work. And again, they got caught in another short squeeze. Same thing happened here. So there's potential anyway that could happen again right here. I mean, we've got quite a big reversal. They weren't able to actually break the March low here. The buyers came in and started buying, and we've got a nice reversal, but the market hasn't even opened yet. So I'm going to say that the cartel is not done yet. They will try again either later this evening, early morning, or maybe even during market hours tomorrow. They're probably going to try again to complete this attack and break this March low. And if they can, then there's definitely a possibility that you could see that panic sell-off as stops everywhere get triggered, and then that would give the cartel a chance to cover those shorts into that panic. But if they are not successful, and if the bulls defend against this attack, and especially if the bulls can close gold positive tomorrow, I'm not just a reversal. I don't think is going to do it for me. I think I need to see a full-on recovery that would serve notice that the cartel is not going to succeed in their attack, and that at that point they're going to have to cover those shorts and take the loss, and then we're probably set up for a short squeeze. But I think we got to close positive for that to happen. Just a reversal here, I don't think does it. I think they've got to really serve notice that the bulls just are not going to bend to another attack. So there's a possibility, but the close is all important in my estimation. If not, then we're 2 days into the bloodbath phase. They usually last 5 to 7 days, and at that point, I think they're going to throw everything but the kitchen sink at gold to try and break this March low. But again, if you've been heeding my warnings and you're out or have taken profits on most of your positions, or at least stopped out with a smaller loss, if you got caught up here, then when I started warning people that we were getting late in the daily cycle and that the attack was coming, that was your opportunity to either go to cash or stop out with a much smaller loss than if you'd stopped out down here at the bottom. Either way, we're either going to print a bottom tonight or tomorrow, or if not, then we may have 3 or 4 more days in this bloodbath phase. And again, the principle applies. The further the rubber band gets stretched from the mean, the more violent and aggressive the reaction is back to the upside. So the cartel with these big attacks, stretching price way too far below the long-term moving averages, they set up a very powerful and aggressive regression move back in the other direction once they cover those shorts and go long. So either way, I don't think we have much longer to wait. Maybe we bottom tonight or tomorrow morning. Maybe we got 3 or 4 more days and then we bottom. But either way, it shouldn't be much longer now. I think we're getting pretty close.